Hello, beloved. I am Reverend Amani Malaika. I am so glad you are here joining me. And this is a kickoff to the series, You Are a Quantum of the Beloved, our series on the ultimate you, the quantum you, which we will talk about all month long. And I'm really glad you are here. So let's get going. I want to start with a quote from Mark Nepo. And he says, one lesson of quantum physics is that if we go inside enough, nothing is solid or separate, but fluid and unified, not particle, but wave. We are all unified by these essential waves of spirit and nature that are lifeblood of all things. Knowing this provides a worldview of unity, but feeling this enables a kinship to life that can buoy us in our days. I love that so much because I think in quantum physics and metaphysics, we get really heady, right? We think that, oh my God, if I just understand the right language or if I just follow the right steps for spiritual mind treatment and prayer, it's this very heady attempt. But really all metaphysics is a way to understand kinship with all of life. That's all it is understand that you and I are part of this literal wave of reality that cannot be separated. Yes, we are unique and amazing, wonderful human beings. Hi, Ro. And there is, as Mark Nepo says, we are not particle, but wave, fluid and unified. That is the truth of our nature, which means you are nature. You are part of this unified fluid whole that we call life. But why that's important is because we live in a world and a culture and a society that would like us to believe that we are less than that. We live inside systems and structures that have conditioned us to believe that you are less than that. That not only are you less than this unified whole, this ultimate reality, but that you are powerless in it. And because you and I have mostly been convinced of this false idea, of this false narrative, this then creeps out into all of the separation, all of the polarization, all of the experiences of divide that we see unfolding on the planet today. The root of all of that ill lies in the separation from the truth of who you are, period. One of the things that I've been thinking a lot about in this getting ready for this series about the quantum, and more so about this idea of the spiritual law or the spiritual world or the spiritual life, right? Because most of us see that the spiritual law or the spiritual world is somehow outside of this material world, is somehow separate from this material world. And it is just not what is true. Including these ideas that we have of supernatural. I love that word. I'm probably going to do a whole nother series on that, on the supernatural. But metaphysics and quantum physics is often approached and interpreted and understood as the supernatural woo-woo sort of thing, right? That's outside of our day-to-day physical, fleshy lives. And yet, the natural truth of nature is that you and I are wave and not particle. It's actually not supernatural, it's just natural. It is just the truth of who you are. And so this ultimate you is the you that knows that it is a quantum of the ultimate. It's the you that knows you are not separate from, have to do nothing to earn your place inside this greater reality that I call God, that goes by all the names. And making use of this truth begins with knowing the truth. Making use of spiritual law, making use of metaphysics, making use of processes of manifestation require that you know The truth, that you know the simple truth that it is all one thing, and of course you use it, because it is what you are. This ultimate reality is not out there over there after you finish, getting it right and doing therapy and, all the things. It's now. It's happening right now. The thing that you get to do masterfully is make use of your nature and change the circumstances you find yourself. Begin to contribute to the loving unfolding that you want to see in your community and your relationships and on this planet. That's why we come into rooms like this, right? That's why we come into rooms like this, is because you may not consciously understand how you got separated, but you know that you are. Yes? Can I get a hand raised? You know that, right? We walk into rooms like these, whether we're having a circumstance in our life that says something is not working, right? My bank account's not working. My relationships are not working. My health is not working. Something's not working. And so you find yourself in a room like this looking for answers. Or I've heard this, I don't even know why I'm here, but there's something. I just need that. I don't know. I just need, yes, I know you know that you need, because the impulse of your nature is moving you towards something greater. Because that is the truth. And the truth will always seek itself. Wholeness will always seek itself. And a lack of awareness is not, it's not a death sentence. Your lack of awareness of your wholeness is not written in stone. There's actually something else that has been written in stone. That you belong to the Holy Blessed One, the ultimate reality, the greater reality. There is no other possibility because you exist. There is no other possibility because you are here. This is actually bringing me, I want to share with you a quote from a friend of mine, Tiger Raman, who is a yoga and leadership teacher and content creator. And they are this incredible human and share these incredible things. But one of the things that I've shared recently that I'm going to share with you now is because I believe that what we are longing for, maybe that thing that you don't know, or the longing that is really at the heart of what you want in your relationship, what you want in your health, what you want in your bank account, what you want in your home, whatever that thing that you are longing for, the heart of that longing is a return to wholeness. The heart of those longings, those wishes, those desires is an expression of your true nature. And it is trying to get your consciousness in alignment with that greater reality that you are. Right? Just like you are the micro of the macro. So there's this greater reality that we cannot wrap our heads around, right? The unseen, the beyond, all that we would think of as mystery about God. But that same mystery is in you. You have yet to stumble into the mystery of your own self, your own greater reality, your own greater sense and being. And that impulse, that thing that just keeps pulling you, that thing that just says, this is not in alignment, that thing that says, I gotta go find out more about this, is you finding out more about your whole true self, which is absolutely a beloved of this ultimate reality. And I believe the community that we can learn a lot about right now, showing us that the nature is greater and more ultimate than our conditioning has allowed us to see for most of us. And the courage it takes to more fully step into your wholeness. And that's the trans and gender expansive community. So I want to share with you, my trans friend Tiger says on his Live Your Own Life, you can follow him on Instagram at liveyourown.life. Tiger says, my divinity comes from being beyond the body and living my own life within it as I decided. There was a time when I was ruled by reaction to other people's take on my life. This is paradama. This is moving away from truth, far from self, detached from understanding the seed of my own thoughts, desires, and actions. Tiger goes on to say, transvisibility is about choice. It is about choosing our path and following it relentlessly. It is an act of spiritual bravery. Folks trying to erase us wouldn't know spirit if it knocked it on their ass. Stay strong in yourself, trans-sibs, Tiger says. This pure sense of knowing in us, that action to make it manifest, that glow up of existence is God. It is Satchidananda. It is still, stainless, unmoving, and indestructible. We cannot be banished because there is no gender norm, no alignment of biology and binary. Transness is immortal and eternal. I love this so much! Because I've been believing this for a long time in the queer community. The willingness to more fully express your true, whole nature outside of societal conditioning. This, my friends, is literally the how to be whole. If you want to learn how to courageously be more spiritually whole in how you live your life, look to the trans and gender expansive community. They have been showing us all along how to do it. How to claim your absolute nature without anybody outside of you telling you it's okay. It is entirely an inside-out expression. And it is natural because it exists. Are you following me? The ultimate reality includes the totality of life, seen and unseen, expressed and unexpressed. And this supernatural is available to you and I all the time. As Tiger says, let's see, choosing your path and following it relentlessly. Think about that for a minute. The spiritual bravery that Tiger was just talking about. Because this gets to be the path for any of us, whether we consider ourselves gender expansive or not. Relentlessly following our own natural instinct. Relentlessly following our own path towards greater wholeness. Relentlessly, bravely going into those dark places and letting the light shine on of more of who you are. This is the ultimate you. The you that has shrunk because there's something that happened in your life that made you feel unsafe. The you that shrunk because there was violence against you, because there was something in your life that messaged to you that you were not okay. And every single one of you in the sound of my voice have had that experience, regardless of your sexuality, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race, your class. Every single one of you have had experiences in your life where something outside of you told you it was not okay to be who you are. It was not okay to express the truth of who you are. And yet spiritual bravery asks you to do it anyways. Spiritual bravery and courage asks you to express the truth of who you are, to discover the truth of who you are anyways. And I'm telling you, if you do anything this Pride Month, I want you to follow a whole bunch of amazing trans folks and let them teach you how to do it. Because someone who walks in the world unapologetic about their whole true nature are our teachers. They are teaching us how to show up naturally, wholly, bravely as the divine. And go with me for a minute there. Think about the divine and what you know about the divine. Is the divine this or that? Anybody? Shout it out, tell me. Can't possibly be. The divine is omnipresent. The divine is omnipotent. The ultimate reality is everything that ever was, ever will be, and all the things we don't know about. That's the ultimate reality. So, does it make more sense that gender fluidity and gender expansiveness is a reflection of the divine? Yeah. Right? It makes more sense to me, those of us who are willing to create lives outside of the typical norms that we have been handed and that are completely made up, by the way, as a reflection of the nature of God. Think about plants. Think about the natural world. Is there this or that? Is there this mushroom or that mushroom? Is there this species or that species? There's everything we've discovered and all that we don't know and everything in between. That is the nature of the divine, which means the ultimate you is that too. All the things you think you know about yourself so far is still a limited picture of your totality. All of the things you allow yourself to be out in the world is limited. Because as the quantum of the divine, it means that there is something in you that also is infinite. There is a nature in you that is still to be discovered. You know, I'm giggling in my head right now about all of the ways that we limit ourselves that we don't even realize it. Like when we say, you know, I'm not really a people person. Or, you know, I'm not really a horror movie person. You know, I'm not really a glam person. How do you know? How do you know that? Have you pushed beyond your comfort zone to discover whether or not that's actually true? If you would have asked 20-something Amani if she would be currently wearing Birkenstocks and a gardening fanatic, my 20-year-old self would have said, I'm not really an outdoorsy person. I'm more of a platform heels and leather person. My 20-year-old self was wildly limited in what she understood to be possible, of what she understood about her nature. And I am now 50 and still feel like I am scratching the surface of my own nature. And that is true. My idea of who I think I am is not the whole truth. But my process of discovering my wholeness is true. I want to share with you from the World Wisdom Bible. While it's commonplace to think of God as a being or even a supreme being, ultimate reality is being itself, not a noun, but a verb, not a person, but a process. Your ultimate you is unfolding right this very minute and will continue to for the rest of your days. Because the ultimate reality is always in motion, is always in process, is ever unfolding for greater and greater good. That is the nature of the ultimate reality. And you, my beloved, as a quantum of that ultimate reality, it's your nature too. So I want to say the definition of what does quantum actually mean? Quantum is defined as the smallest discrete unit of a phenomenon. I love that so much. Think about that for a minute. You are a quantum of the divine, which means you are the smallest discrete unit of a phenomenon. Breathe that in for a minute. You are a unit of a phenomenon, of a process that is infinitely unfolding, seen and unseen, miraculous and mysterious, and you are part of that. You are a quantum of that. Which means you can't get stuck in who you think you are. You are not finished, nor will you ever be. I'm so sorry. That was a huge bummer for me in this whole spiritual walk, to discover there was no end. I was like, damn it. I don't get to get to the finish line and take a nap. Ugh. But there is delight on this journey. There is magic in you to still be discovered, to be expressed, to be offered in your expression as this incredible bit of phenomena. That is worth having a party. We should have a party discovering this truth, understanding this nature, this ever-expanding, ever-fluid wave of the one. You are a wave in this infinite ocean. What a privilege. And how silly it is that you and I want to diminish that. How silly it is that we have ever falsely believed ourselves to be less than that. It is travesty to me. I believe it is, if I believed in sin, which I believe in the Aramaic idea of sin, which is simply you've missed the mark. If there's any place humanity has missed the mark, is understanding itself to be less than divine. Understanding itself to be separate from the divine. This is the greatest suffering ever in all societies, period, throughout the history of our existence. But you and I have this incredible opportunity in this spiritual walk, which is to turn off the noise, to reclaim ourselves and pull ourselves back from all of this false narrative of not enough, of I don't matter, of I don't have any power, I don't have a say, I'm not invited to the table, and I am saying you are already at the table. You have breath in your body, you've been invited. You have literally the force of the universe in you as you to use as your heart's desire. But you must know yourself to be that. You also must be willing to let go of all the limitation you've taken on, internalized. Whatever your story, wherever you walk, whatever your location in this life is. But that's the great beauty of having a spiritual life, of having a spiritual practice. This is the way you plug yourself into greater power, to greater good. And one of the ways I want to offer that you can do that is through study. And one of the Centers for Spiritual Living's recommended spiritual practices is sacred study. But what I want to say about sacred study is why it's different than an academic study, right? Because what I know about those of you drawn to metaphysics and quantum physics is y'all like the academic, right? We like to be up here working with it. We don't want to be all up in here working with it. So the study I'm going to invite you to do is the study of yourself. Whatever sacred text or podcast or video or show or book you are reading for the purposes of your own self-awareness and growth, and I guarantee you, you all are reading more than one right now. Because that impulse is true, that longing for your wholeness is true. The longing for fixing is false. So I want you to take any books and podcasts and playlists you've got that are trying to fix you and make them go away. And I want you to let yourself be drawn to the kinds of texts and information that invites you into your whole true nature. And you all may have different choices. You all may go towards different things that give you that. But when you do, as you listen or read or watch, I want you to be paying attention to what is happening in your being. What is resonant? What begins to light you up? And this kind of study is sacred because you are paying attention to what is helping you expand a little bit more into who you actually are. And it also is different from academic studies because it must be done slowly. So I want to do a little thing with you right now. So I'm going to say a thing and you are going to listen, and I'm going to say it very slowly. And as I'm saying the thing, you are going to be paying attention to what is happening in your being, in your body. What are the sensations? Not just what are the thoughts, but what are the sensations all the way down to your toes? What's your reaction? What's your response? You, my beloved, are a quantum of the ultimate reality. You, my beloved, are a quantum of the ultimate reality. And then just spend a few moments. You could even journal about this. What did you discover as you sat with those words? And now we're going to try it again. Taking some deep breaths, centering yourself so you are paying full attention to what is happening inside of you. I am beloved as a quantum of the ultimate reality. I am beloved as a quantum of the ultimate reality. And then you would allow yourself to sit with what has risen. Maybe write it down, talk with a friend. What did you notice? What have you discovered maybe in your own being? This is a form of sacred study. And I invite you to do that this week. You can use that one sentence. You can use a short paragraph. You can use a song or an image. But the purpose is to discover more truth in yourself. That is the purpose of sacred study. Let's close this in prayer. Oh, holy blessed one, also known as the ultimate reality, the greater good, the good itself, the beginning, the middle, the end, the mystery, the intelligent universe, the absolute, whatever name I choose to call you, I know you as all. And what I know about this totality, about this omnipresence and omnipotence, is that it is ever moving for good. It is moving through every little nook and cranny of this life, waving and weaving itself in greater and greater expression of goodness. And hallelujah, amen, that I get to be here for that. That I get to be a wave in this incredible good. That I get to delight in the life of this ultimate reality right here, right now with you. And I know that this good is continuing to unfold. And I know that the nature of the one is to always belong to itself. So I know that right now, every consciousness is moving towards greater belonging, greater kinship with its belonging to this great whole. And that only results in more and more good, more and more love, more and more connection, more and more beauty and harmony and joy. Thank you, God. And so it is.